So for this Terraria playthrough, I decided to play Ranger. Ranger's a super fun class and honestly one of my favorites. I decided to mainly use bows, but anyone can play it however they want. I did use guns a little bit, but decided bows in the long run, so my build's gonna be a little different from some other Rangers, but overall the same. So the beginning started like any other Terraria playthrough, mining some trees, some basic exploring, and we were able to make our first weapon, the wooden bow. Yeah, I know it's not much, but it's something for now. And after a long day's work, I eventually headed back home and decided to make a house for me and the guide for the first night. And I know this house is a little shit shack, but I'll end up fixing it eventually. I did end up exploring the left side of my world, and then I eventually came home due to it becoming night soon. I started to mine a elevator and eventually ended up in the mushroom biome, and also finding our first life crystal, which was super exciting, which was a vein of 3. That is so many life crystals. It was actually crazy. I then sorted myself out a little bit because I had a lot of stuff, as well as making another house, which would get me more NPCs. I cleared up a lot of room on the right because I did want a boss arena eventually, as well as getting more wood for all my buildings and stuff. I finally decided to make my house actually look good, and building montage, here we go.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Bringing that sound from the underground. Lose control, shout out Missy. All y'all toxic, just like Britney. Get out the way, get up, left lane, right lane, switch up. Now shut up and understand. You don't gotta talk, now you just gotta dance.
I don't wanna talk, I just wanna dance. I don't wanna talk, I just wanna dance. I just wanna rock, I don't need a plan. I don't wanna, I just wanna.
I'm so fly like an ex.
I did finish making my house look nicer, but I wasn't too satisfied with it, so I eventually ended up changing it a little bit later. I then wanted to get lucky and try and find the fledgling wings or even the horseshoe, but we only ended up finding the balloon, which I was a little sad about, but it ended up working out. I then finished up my boss arena I was originally working on, and it looked a lot better. I also was upgrading my bow to a lead bow, which would be a little bit nicer, but nothing too crazy. I fixed up all the walls in my house, and I was a lot more proud of it, especially with the windows. It adds a lot better of a look. I then decided to make a nice little plant farm eventually, but honestly I wasn't too proud of this design. It was just kind of like something I thought of in 30 seconds, so not much time at all. I decided it was time to go and get our actual first good ranger armor, which is the desert fossil set. It's just the one thing about it is I have to mine a ton of desert fossils, and the desert is not an easy place to survive in. I love putting stuff in this extractinator. It is so satisfying, but I did need more sturdy fossils, so I had to do a second trip, as well as keeping my health high with all these life crystals. We were able to make the fossil armor, and we got a lot stronger. I waited till night, and I was ready to fight Eye of Cthulhu. I was feeling super good, especially with all my new armor, and he honestly wasn't too bad. I was able to get his health down quite a lot, even though it was a little close at one time, but honestly, we were overall able to kill him. Also awarding us with a nice Shield of Cthulhu. This thing is super helpful, making us able to dash for faster movement as well as a slight amount of invulnerability. I also upgraded my bow to the tendon bow, which was super helpful. It helped a lot in taking care of bosses and everyday exploring. Honestly, I was feeling super good about bosses right now and decided to try my luck at the Brae of Cthulhu. I first started making an arena and then I summoned him, and honestly, he was super easy. Jester arrows carry this fight extremely hard. I did get a little confused in his second phase because I did not know where he was, but we ended up killing him, which was all good. As well as acquiring the Brain of Confusion. It is a super sick accessory that can provide us to a chance to dodge enemy attacks, which would be super helpful. I then fought him again for some extra money, and he was also easy again. I then ended up making the Crimtame pickaxe as well as the Crimtame armor, but I ended up switching back to the fossil armor just because I like the range boost instead of just the overall damage boost. As well as the Goblin army invaded, but honestly they were super easy and it wasn't that bad to defeat them. It just took kind of a while because I didn't have any piercing. I then decided to make more NPC houses, preferably in the jungle first, just because I needed pylons. Pylons were a super sick source of traveling, where I could just instant travel and not worry about running across the world every 5 minutes. And you know what that means. Building montage, here we go. Yes, I see that the house is a little off at the roof, but I think I end up fixing it. I don't know. I'm sorry for all you OCD people. So yeah, I did end up buying the mini shark, even though I never really use it because I'm only using bows. I have it. I continue mining my elevator with some bombs, as well as making a little area for the cavern house because I needed more NPCs and I wanted mostly all the pylons I can get. Let's commence the building montage.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go. Going new, and the search is a mystery. Standing on my feet, it's so hard when I try to be me. Whoa, deja vu.
I do eventually end up moving this whole house I just made due to a farm being made, but it's all good. It worked out in the end. I also bought the jungle pylon, making sure we're able to teleport now, which will be super helpful with saving time. I then decided to try my luck at Skeletron, but he was a lot harder than I thought, and my weapons just weren't strong enough, so I ended up dying, and it was not good. It turned daytime! I had it! I had it, dude! I was right there! It was easy! I then decided to go mine some meteorite, but Jones, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to hear it, okay? I wanted to make the Phoenix Blaster and the Star Cannon, but I know it's a bow-only playthrough. I messed up a little bit, okay? Don't worry, I fix it later. And I tried fighting Skeletron again, but I ended up whiffing, and I was really mad, and I died, and it was not good. God damn it, dude! Fuck! After rage quitting very hard after that fight, I eventually got back on and decided to go make the snow house because I really needed the snow pylon, and I thought it'd be super helpful. So, building montage. Sadly, I did not get to finish the chimney because we got interrupted by Deerclops. He came out of nowhere. I don't even know why he spawned, and then he was super hard, and we died. It was not fun. I then decided to fight King Slime, and honestly, he was not hard at all. He was low-key super easy, and we ended up killing him. I ended up continuing my elevator to try and get to hell because I really needed hellstone because it would prove to be super helpful to me. I ended up exploring some more Skylands, and I ended up getting the horseshoe, which is super nice because now I won't take any more fall damage. After finally making it to hell, I drank an obsidian skin potion and hopped right into the lava to try and get as much hellstone as I could. One, to make the molten pickaxe, which would help me a lot in hard mode, as well as making the molten fury, a super strong bow, and maybe selling a little extra for some cash. I honestly had a lot of extra molten bars, so I made the molten armor just because it has so much defense. I think it'd be a little more helpful than the fossil armor. I then decided to make a chest room organized area because I was getting tired of just lumping everything everywhere. So building montage.
Oh, I'm a goofy goober, yeah. You're a goofy goober, yeah. We're all goofy goobers, yeah. Goofy, goofy, goober, goober, yeah! Oh, I'm a goofy goober, yeah. You're a goofy goober, yeah.
And this chest room is very simple. Nothing too crazy, but it will work for now. Over time, I'll also add more chests for more storage or more room. I fixed up my plant farm a bit as well, making it look a little nicer. After getting better armor and getting a lot more upgraded, I decided to take on Skeletron again, and this time it was a lot better. He was honestly not too bad, and after we took out his hands, honestly, it was just the skull itself, and it was honestly super simple. We did get hit occasional by his shooting skulls, but we were able to dodge him and kill him. I did end up exploring the dungeon to get some bones because I really wanted the Necro armor because that was our best pre-hard mode ranged armor we could get. Sadly, we did end up dying, so I only got to make 2 pieces of the Necro armor, but it's okay because we did one more run and then we had all of it. I did end up exploring more of the dungeon just because I wanted some more loot, maybe the Phoenix Blaster, even though I wasn't going to use it. But we did find a super cool pet, and he stuck around with us for quite a while. And while I was down in hell, I got the Hellwing bow, which would be super helpful. I also ended up exploring the jungle because I needed more cash, as well as getting my last life crystal, which would be super helpful for this upcoming Wall of Flesh fight. As well as finding the Anklet of Wind to upgrade to the Lightning Greaves, a better upgrade for my Spectre boots. I then wanted a little surface fishing area because I did want like a nice place where I can fish and not have to worry about enemies, so I made my own. As well as fishing for some more potions for the Wall of Flesh fight coming up. But before I went into hard mode, I did want the bee's knees and some bee grenades because using that against the Wall of Flesh is super helpful. And I was ready to start the queen bee fight, and honestly it was super easy, especially thanks to the Beezor giving me immunity to poison, which makes the queen bee literally do nothing. The fight honestly went super clean, and I didn't really take that much damage. Thankfully, the Shield of Cthulhu is able to deal a ton of damage whenever she dashes at me, so she was honestly super easy to kill. I then fought her a bunch more times because this was a super good way of getting a ton of money, as well as I wanted a lot of bee nades in stock, as well as the bee's knees because I haven't gotten it yet. She was definitely worth fighting because we got a ton of money. I started to make the bridge for Hell and getting ready to fight Wall of Flesh, and honestly, I wasn't too worried because I felt super prepared. I then ended up fighting Deerclops just because I wanted to kill all the pre-hard mode bosses, and yeah, he was super easy. I did end up reforging my accessories to Menacing to get the best damage multiplier there was, but this Brain of Confusion took so much money. I finished making my bridge and all that, and I was getting ready to fight Wall of Flesh. This fight was not really that hard at all, and we were able to light him up a ton. The bee nades and the bee's knees helped a ton to take care of the hungries, as well as do a ton of damage to his eyes and all that. In the end, we do end up killing the Wall of Flesh. Thankfully, we did get the Ranger emblem, which was super sick, as well as the Demon Heart, giving us a whole nother accessory slot. And the first thing I did, like every Terraria player, was go smash some altars for new hard mode ores to get some better armor. After blessing my world with some hard mode ores, I decided to finally make an ocean house because I was tired of running over here. So yeah, building montage. I did finish the house, and it's alright. I'm not too crazy about it, but I do end up fixing it a little bit with some windows, making it look a little bit nicer. I decided it was time to mine hard mode ores now, but I really wanted to just skip to the last tier of armor because it's definitely the best. So I got all the ores and then made a mithril anvil and an adamantite forge, as well as making the full set of adamantite armor and the adamantite repeater, which is a nice upgrade for our weapon arsenal. As well as making the endless quiver, just in case if we ever run out of arrows, we have infinite arrows now. I also made the hard mode farm from Waffle Time's video, super helpful video. I'll leave it in the description again. I also sadly had to move my cavern house entirely just because it was too close to the hard mode farm and it was messing up the spawn rates, but it wasn't a big deal. I fixed it down here. So building montage. My house is complete, and it ain't no masterpiece, but, you know, it's pretty good. I like it. I then decided to sit on my hard mode farm because I really wanted the magic quiver, which would be a super nice upgrade to my build, as well as I just needed Souls of Light for making things. With the Souls of Light I farmed, I went back to my arena and started to make Key of Lights because I really wanted the Dayless Storm Bow because it is a very helpful weapon, and it is really good for where I'm at right now. It surprisingly only took me 3 tries and I got the Dayless Stormbow. I was super pumped on this. So I did need a pair of wings, so I started farming for the demon wings because I thought they looked the coolest and were a simple set of wings at this stage. I then replaced my farm with Crimson so I could start getting Souls of Night and Ichor arrows, lowering enemy defenses by 8, which would be super helpful for my build. After I got my wings, my Daedalus Stormbow, Ichor arrows, and all that stuff, I decided fishing for the frog leg because I really wanted to make the amphibian boots for a certain boss fight I want to do. This process for this damn frog leg took so long. I really needed it though, because we are going to be going against Duke Fishron before any of the mech bosses. Do you know how hard that is? Duke Fishron is usually above Golem, but we're going to beat him before any of those bosses. One downside though is that the frog leg is a 1 in 250 chance of getting it. And honestly, my fishing power was not that high. So eventually, later on while fishing, I ended up buying the mechanics rod, which was super helpful, and I could already tell a difference immediately. As well as I tried changing the area I was fishing in, because maybe that was a problem, but you can honestly fish anywhere for the frog leg. I ended up getting the frog leg after about 30 minutes, I want to say. It honestly wasn't too bad, but it was kind of annoying just sitting there. But the good news is we got a ton of potion materials. I was then able to make the amphibian boots, which is super sick, as well as the star veil, increasing my invincibility and damaging enemies if I get damaged. I also went and farmed for some truffle worms because I needed a good chunk of Duke Fishron summons. I did go and make an above ground mushroom biome just because I wanted the truffle because I needed shroomite armor later. You know what that means, building montage. So I didn't really have a hallowed biome, so I kind of made my own, and I was farming pixies and unicorns to get the holy arrows because those rain a shit ton of stars and they're super good. Earlier when I was exploring the jungle, I also got a jungle key too, which was super sick. It's a 1 in 2,500 chance. I also was able to make the molten quiver, which is just an upgrade from the magic quiver. I then made my way to the ocean to start making the Duke Fishron arena, and honestly, this took a lot of wood. I then made my way to the Duke Fishron arena, and this fight was not easy. My wings did not go high enough, and I felt super slow. No! I didn't see the Sharknado! I tried fighting him again, but he was just super hard, and I was thinking I probably need the best wings I can get right now. But I didn't really want to get the frozen wings because they took too long, so I decided to get the pixie wings. No! Why the fuck is a Sharknado spawning right underneath me? But while I was farming to upgrade my wings, the hallowed key dropped, which was crazy. This was out of nowhere, but sadly it's going to be completely useless to me, so I was a little bummed. After making the pixie wings, I get the best modifier on them, menacing, which that definitely means a sign. I also add one more level to my arena because I think having one more level would help a ton in this Duke Fishron fight. And this was a monumental fight right here, so I'm gonna let the full fight play out, but I'll play it a little faster for you guys. I'm crazy! Oh my god! This is literally insane that I beat Duke Fishron before the mechs, but there was still one thing left to go. I really wanted the tsunami, and I was hoping so badly for it, and we ended up getting it on the first try. It was absolutely amazing, so I didn't have to fight him 1,000 more times. I then wanted to use my new bow against Duke Fishron just to see how well it was doing, and this was shredding him. This bow is so good, but in the end I ended up dying just because I got careless and thought I could kill him easily. After getting an enormous weapon upgrade, I decided to fight Skeletron Prime, and this tsunami was lighting him up. This guy was light work, and we were able to kill him pretty swiftly. I also wanted to fight Queen Slime just for fun, just because I wanted to see how fast we could kill Queen Slime, and we were destroying Queen Slime. Like, her health was gone in like 5 seconds max. We also got some new drip from the dye trader with some nice fire dye, as well as making another house for a lot more NPCs later on, and this house I was very proud of. So, building montage.
I call this one the Campfire Song. Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song. Our CAMPFIRESONG song. And if you don't think that we can sing it faster, then you're wrong. But it'll help if you just sing along. CAMPFIRESONG song. CAMPFIRESONG song. And if you don't think that we can sing it faster, then you're wrong. But it'll help if you just sing along. CAMPFIRESONG song. Patrick!
Song! C-A-M-P-F-I-R-E!
Squidward! Good! It'll help! It'll help if you just sing along!
I finally could stop worrying about NPC houses for a bit with this new one made. Later that night, I fought the Destroyer and the Twins, and they also got absolutely destroyed by the tsunami. This thing is amazing. I was able to make the Hallowed Armor a big upgrade to my ranged armor, as well as making the mechanical cart set, just to upgrade my minecart and all that stuff. I decided to go hunting for some life fruit as well as some chlorophyte, because chlorophyte would be a big upgrade to our ranged armor. So I went and made my chlorophyte armor after some mining, as well as I got some more life fruits for my health. I went back to the jungle and I found a Plantara bulb, so I started making the arena for it and was getting ready to fight Plantara. Overall, this fight was not that hard, but I did have some close calls just because it wasn't as big of a space as I could have made it. But this tsunami bow really shredded through Plantara, and we ended up killing her. So yeah. I went back to the truffle house and decided to buy the auto hammer because our next set of armor would be the Shumite armor. This ranged armor is so good, and there's 3 different ways you can take this armor. The explosive ranged armor buff, the bullet armor range buff, as well as the arrow range buff. I chose the arrowhead piece just because, you know, I've been using bows this whole playthrough. I made the Shumite armor and all my stats got super buffed up, which is really nice. Once post-Plantara dungeon was unlocked, I went over there and made a little area so I could farm for the Master Ninja gear, as well as farm for some ectoplasm because I really wanted the Frost Moon and the Pumpkin Moon to spawn. And coming back from the dungeon, we were able to find a bone feather to give us the bone wings, which would be super helpful. A little nice upgrade to our wings already. After a bunch of that farming was said and done, I started to fight the Frost Moon, and honestly, it was pretty easy just until Ice Queen came, and she messed me up pretty badly just because she does a ridiculous amount of damage. Overall, though, we were able to hold our ground pretty well compared to these tough enemies. I decided to try and fight Daytime Empress of Light just for fun, and she was way too hard, so I stopped immediately with all that. I was also able to make the Master Ninja gear, as well as I opened the jungle test and found the Piranha gun, but there's no point in me really using it. I also started to fight the Pumpkin Moon just because I wanted to fight both moons, and this one was so much easier than the Frost Moon. I honestly went really far in this one. I then went to see if I could kill Duke Fishron to try and get his wings, but I didn't get them, so I decided to kill him later and start on the Empress of Light instead. I then started to fight Empress of Light, and she was a lot easier, especially being able to take damage in the nighttime rather than dying in one hit in the daytime. and we ended up killing her and getting the soaring insignia, giving us infinite flight time, which would be super helpful and crucial for a Moonlord fight. As well as getting a super sick developer set, Loki's. It was pretty sick. I made my way inside the jungle temple, getting ready to fight Golem, but we all know Golem really is not that hard, and I was able to kill him, as well as I started killing him a little bit more just because I wanted money and a bunch of extra stuff, so yeah. I made my way over to Lunatic Cultist and started to fight him, and honestly, he really wasn't that bad. It just, I had a little bit of close situations, but overall we were able to kill him, and yeah. And the first thing I did is I went straight to the Vortex Pillar just because I really wanted the Phantasm. It is the best bow I can get right now and probably the best bow in the game, so yeah. Then with my new upgraded weapon, I went to the Nebula Pillar and literally obliterated this thing. And I got the Nebula Fragments. And before I did anything else, I wanted to go to the jungle to max out my health and give me the best chance I have against Moonlord. I also got a lot more Truffle Worms and decided to fight Duke Fishron like 12 more times because I really wanted these Fishron wings because they would help a ton. And we do end up getting them along with a ton of money. I then reforged everything to Menacing to give me the most damage possible, as well as this literally took out my bank account, which really sucked. I then destroyed the Stardust Pillar, as well as the Solar Pillar, and was awaiting Moonlord. Moonlord came, and honestly, we were doing pretty good, but I didn't have his pattern memorized, and we ended up dying to some stupid attacks. No! Man. And we died again. I can't see where the I am. I then decided it was time to change it up, and I made a bunch of Venom arrows. They are the strongest damaging arrows I can get, where they are 41 damage rather than my next highest, which was 34, which is a crazy difference. And I thought I was ready this time, but we end up dying again. No! Are you kidding? Are you f***ing kidding? And since I couldn't kill Moonlord in that span, I had to go and kill the Lunatic Cultist as well as all the pillars again to restart the cycle. And we died again. I knew something was wrong, so I thought the best bet would be to get Shimmer and upgrade my permanent life stats, as well as getting some extra major buff potions. And this time the fight went completely different with my new buffs, and I'll just let you guys watch the full fight.
Let's go! Easy!
After defeating Moonlord, I felt so accomplished, and this fight was not easy, but we were able to do it, which was super sick. But fighting Moonlord was not quite over yet. I made a bunch of Luminite arrows to change how much damage I'm gonna do, as well as I got a developer set from Moonlord, which was super cool, but the fight's not over till I get my final tier of armor. I fought Moonlord again, and especially with my new Luminite arrows, he was dead so quick. I fought all of the pillars again just because I needed enough vortex fragments to craft my vortex armor, as well as I wanted to try one last Moonlord boss fight with my final tier armor. And with this new armor, Moonlord did not stand a chance, and we were able to get the SDMG, which is the best gun in Terraria. And my final endgame loadout was with the Phantasm, along with the SDMG and the Vortex Beater, but I was arrows only, so I didn't really use those. Along with the Vortex armor, and all my accessories were reforged to menacing, giving me the most damage possible. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe because this did take me a while, but let me know in the comments below what you want me to do next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.